Hey, you guys, what's up? I want to talk about something you should be aware of if you are raising children with someone who is off kilter. And I'm talking about someone who is not stable when it comes to mental, emotional, etc., etc., and someone who has not treated you with respect. And I'll just dive into my situation as I got pregnant got pregnant in the military, and then I met someone who I jived with. We had things in common, and we were both raised in Wisconsin, Midwestern folks, and I thought everything was on the up and up. And I didn't meet his family until after we got married and had a daughter, etc. And I knew his family history, but I thought since we were not close to them, it would be okay. And let me tell you, it was anything but. The entire relationship was like a ticking time bomb. It was scary as hell. I lived in fear, and I was called every name under the book. I was told I was worthless, no one's ever going to want you, you have two kids with two guys, and this and this and that, and the whore slut, be this and that, and it's just the way it was. And finally, when our daughters were 8.5, 9, around that age, I finally kind of talked to someone, and they said, you shouldn't be living like this. And I said, yeah, I know. And so I got up the courage and well, initially I said, we need to go to therapy because you need anger management. And that was confirmed at the appointment. And things kind of even became more even keeled. But you just never know when someone's going to explode. So things didn't change, and I filed for divorce. And the scariest thing is just letting someone know that you are asking for that. And you think, well, maybe they'll manage it okay. But as you can see with the Chris Watts of the world and other individuals, sometimes you're just not safe. And I escaped with, I left with the house and some of my personal affects and the kids, and I raised them primarily, but what my ex did was he worked on my kids. They were just prisoners of war. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like dealing with someone who does not like you, did not want the breakup, and is angry. And so they'll work on your kids, and your kids being influential at that point. Sometimes they side with your ex, even if you're on the receiving end of said abuse. So I just want to say, they'll teach your children to disrespect you, to disregard you, to call you names, to walk away from you. They'll encourage them to estrange from you. And as much as my daughters say their dad didn't have a hand in it, it wasn't just their dad, it was their dad and his wife. Someone who was not a girl's girl. And I think after that experience, I said I would never treat another woman the way I have been treated. So when I met my husband, and this was about 6 years ago, he had been divorced about 7 years. His ex-wife was remarried, so my stepson had a mom and a stepdad, and I knew that. And not once did I ever try to sever that relationship between my stepmom and his mom. Or, sorry, between my stepson and his mom. Never. I never would. I never would treat another woman the way I was treated. So, anyways, just want to say, uphill battle. If you're with someone who's not kind, that's going to be you. So, anyways, that's all I've got, and I will be back.